I asked myself one singular question. And that question changed the entire course of my life. Which question am I actually talking about? Very simply, it's one of the most simple questions that you can ask anyone. But most people don't want to ask themselves this question because most of the time the answers are quite uncomfortable. And the question I am talking about is why. Why do you do what you do? Why? And ask this question as many times as you can, and often you'll find an answer to this question that is quite uncomfortable when you actually think about it. Now, I'll give you a little bit of a perspective on my life and what I've done and who I used to be, so that way you kind of understand where does this fit in, basically. So, first off, and I just noticed in the camera, it might be inverted, so I'm gonna have to invert fucking whatever in the fucking editing, but we'll see if it's fine. So right now I'm 23. So now 23 years old. All right. Very fucking stupid, simple. And so 2 to 3 years ago, 3 years ago, I was broke, living in my parents' house. They were paying the rent, they were paying the food, they were like, I was basically paying no bills whatsoever, and they were just sending me money whenever I needed to do something, which that included, I had this whole gaming setup, and I had like 3 monitors and like a keyboard, like a unit. I had like everything you could fucking think of. I had the lights, I had the streaming setup, I had a camera, I had a microphone, I had a fucking headset, I had literally everything you could fucking think of that a streamer might have. That's what I had at the time. And I had everything. I had like a master bedroom, super big, bigger than the regular bedroom. I had enough space for a bed, my fucking desk, all of my computer setup, literally everything. And I was quite blessed to have access to all of this stuff. But when I actually think about it in perspective now, is I was quite spoiled now that I think about it. But the point is, one day, so during this time, so basically this is like an alternate reality to this one. like basically we went this way. But we're gonna go this way, which is backward, and we're just gonna explain a little bit about where I was before. So so 2 to 3 years ago, I was learning 3D graphics, 3D graphics design, basically, for video games and movie, like SFX, whatever the fuck, stuff people do in the movies, like with like green screen and like editing footage and all that sort of stuff. So basically, I was learning that shit. And so the path for this shit was, you would go through year 1, 2, 3, and so that would be your bachelor's, and then you would have year 4 and 5, which this would be your master's. So you've got bachelor's and then you've got master's. And so this first year, I'll change colors just so I understand it better. This first year, didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was just going in there, not really sure what to do. I wasn't asking myself why at the time, okay? And so what ended up happening is that I got to this year, and at the end of this year, I thought to myself, wait, Because I started noticing a lot of people online talking about self-improvement and like becoming a better person and like understanding who you need to become, right? And so what ended up happening is, I remember this to this fucking day. There is one of my friends at the time, one of my classmates. We were in like a group project, something. We had like 4 people in the group. So the group project master, or like leader, I guess, whatever, with one of my friends, he told me one day, like I was basically just like fucking around, and I was doing like the bare minimum amount of work necessary, and I wasn't really bringing my all to the table. And he looked at me and he said, "What the fuck are you doing, bro? Like actually, what the fuck are you doing? When the fuck are you gonna take this seriously?" And I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm not taking this seriously. And that, and I asked myself, like, okay, why the fuck am I not taking this seriously? Isn't this what I want to do for like in my life? Isn't this the kind of career I want to do? Isn't this the kind of work I want to do? And then I asked myself, why? And when I got here to the 3rd year, I had to ask myself so many times why, that I was like, wait a minute. I don't actually see myself getting a job in this industry whatsoever. I don't see myself working in this industry at all. I was just interested in like how it worked and what it was. I didn't actually care about having a job or doing something long term inside this industry. And so what ended up happening in my mind was like, okay, we need to find a way to do something else, because I need to make money to live. My parents are not going to be able to pay my fucking rent and food forever. So what the fuck do I do? And so I started researching a bunch of stuff on YouTube at this point. I started looking at, how do I get better? How do I learn a high income skill? What is a high income skill? Which high income skill should I pick? Why should I go to the gym? Why all of this becoming disciplined, understanding how you can use your schedule and your time as much as possible, as efficiently as possible. Why is that important? Why should I do this? And what the fuck is the point? And I got to the end of year 3, and I said, I got here, I was gonna pass the exam, and I told them, you know what? Fuck it. I don't want to do this. I'm not gonna do it. So I didn't do this. And people at the time thought, oh, you should just take 1 year off as a sabbatical or something, just to figure out who you are and like what you want to do and where you want to go. And I was like, okay, sure, whatever. Let's call it that. But realistically, in my own mind, I was like, I'm never going to go back there. That's why I told them to fuck off. So that's fucking deleted off the fucking map. Okay. So we've created a new path now, which was learn shit. Learn shit online. All right? Learn shit online. And so now, this is taking like all of my time, like from the fucking day in, day out. When I wake up, I'm like, okay, what do I need to do today? And then I was still getting distracted. This is a problem, right? So we're here, but I'm in the same environment as to how I picked this in the first place. And this is a problem. So what I ended up doing was I was like, okay, problem. The problem was I wasn't making any money. I was learning a bunch of stuff, but I wasn't doing anything productive. I wasn't actually using my time efficiently. I was like mentally masturbating, basically. I was like, oh, we can do this and we can do that, and then and where the fuck is the money? All right, well, how the fuck am I gonna pay the rent? So I got a job for 1 month. 1 month. 1 month job At the end of the contract, I said, this is shit. I'm never going back there. So, fuck that. That's fucking rubbish. So what do? I get funding from a bunch of different people, I think including the government. They were saying like they set up this project to help entrepreneurs start their own business or something like that. And so I signed that up for that, and I was getting a bunch of money, short term, which was not too bad actually, when I actually think about it, but it wasn't nearly enough to change my life. So what did I come up with? Well, very simply, over here, so at this point, I'm like, when was this? I was 21, at the end of 21. I came up with the idea of there were two different paths that could go to the same place, right? Like, let's say this is the end goal over here. And if I go this way or this way, this might take like 2 years. This might take like 3 years. I don't fucking know. Whatever. It's not year old, but whatever. So, which path do I take? And these two paths were either I was going to go flat with one of my other friends and stay in France, which I was in France at the time when I was born. I was born in France, raised there, and lived all my life there. So either live in France with my friend, flat with him, and then keep grinding on the business to figure out where to go, or go to New Zealand and just figure it out. Because my dad, you see, was born in New Zealand, so I have access to the passport and I can go there whenever I want because I'm a descendancy passport bro, whatever the fuck you want to call that. Basically, inherited my passport from my dad, so I can either go to France or to New Zealand. So I said, you know what? I've never actually been living in New Zealand for a long period of time. So I'm just going to go there and figure it out. So I think it was, between 21 and 22, I flew over to New Zealand. And when I got to New Zealand, I had to look at everything. And so now, in perspective, like when I take a step back and think to myself, okay, well, I've done all this shit. Has this question actually produced a significant outcome? Yes. So, what I want you to take out of this video is that by asking yourself why, you can come up with a better strategy, a better solution to your living circumstances of right now. I'll give another example. Because one day, and this is a concept you can apply to literally everything. You can apply this to business, you can apply this to dating, you can apply this to relationships, you can apply this to careers, making money, how people work, how video games work, whatever the fuck you want to think about, okay? So, got Y in the center here. Boom, boom. There we go. So I got Y. So you can apply this to literally everything. Another example. Okay. I'm super, like, what you have to start with, it's kind of like a formula. I'll share this formula with you. How the fuck do you make this question efficient? Okay. Ask yourself, take one statement out of your life first, a problem. Ideally a problem. Okay. If I am shit at dating women, I'm talking to the men here, okay? I'm shit at dating women. This is a problem, okay? So, how the fuck do we solve that? Why is this a thing? Okay, well, number one, haven't haven't worked on my social skills. Haven't worked on my social skills, number one. And you go through this basically. Got a problem here. I am shit at dating women. Why? Why the fuck are you shit at dating women? Are you shit because you haven't worked on your social skills? Or are you shit because you don't have that much experience, so no experience? Or you shit because, and you just go through everything that like is reality, and you're going to be forced to look at the stuff that is uncomfortable, okay? This is uncomfortable. I had to do this when I started. 21 years old, never dated a chick in my entire fucking life. I've dated a bunch of chicks in, what is it? 2 years? In 2 years, I've dated more chicks in my entire fucking life than I had before. 21-year-old me never dated a chick ever. No dating. And so I asked myself, why? Why the fuck is this a thing? And so I came up with this. And so I go through things one by one. Okay. Haven't really worked on my social skills. Don't really know what the fuck I'm doing. Don't have any experience because I don't really approach women. And I don't really know how to talk to them. So obviously I'm not really good at it. Okay. What's another thing? Okay. Well, haven't defined my standards. I have no fucking clue what kind of person I'm looking for, what kind of relationship do I want, what does that look like? Like, in terms of like defining it, making it concrete, what does that look like? Haven't done that. And so I came up with this entire fucking list of stuff. Just like boom, 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 boom. Just fucking a million different things that I was shit at. And you come up with this list and you're like, okay, how the fuck do we solve that? Okay, well, practice, obviously. Short-term facing rejection. Facing rejection over and over. What else? Exposure. It's very simple. How do you get better at this? Okay, well, you do this. Okay, exposure, facing rejection, practice. What else do we do? Okay, well, something more concrete would be like approach a woman I find attractive every single time I see her. Every single time I see an attractive woman in the street or at the coffee shop or outside when I'm working or when I'm going to the barbers or wherever the fuck you're going, every single time I saw one, I would just go up to her and say, hey, you're beautiful, da-da-da. And I would start a conversation with her. And so at first I got like a couple of dates and they were like super fucking uncomfortable because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, obviously. So what ended up happening is I had a bunch of women in my DMs and I would just go basically through them and I would go on dates and I would just do I would just fuck it up so many times, basically. The point is, all of this here, all of this that I've summarized here can be, and if you can not see properly, I'll turn this a little bit. There we go. There. So the point is, all of this could be summarized by more repetitions, more reps. Failing equal learning, okay? Failing equal learning. Very simple. Very good thing to think about because why? Thanks to asking that to myself a million different times, I came up with this. And so I looked not only at myself, but also how to fix that online. You can ask AI, you can ask other people, you can go on YouTube and say, hey, how do I do this? Or how do I do this? Or how do I find this? You need to sit down and have a cold, hard look at yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, I am shit right now. I'm actually fucking bad. Like, my current me is shit. How the fuck do I get better? Okay, and then this is what I'm shit at. Okay, why? Why are you shit at it? Oh, because I haven't really worked on my social skills. Oh, why are you shit at it then? Okay, well, I haven't really worked on my social skills. Why haven't I worked on my social skills? Well, because I've never really thought about it. Okay, why haven't you thought about it? Okay, because I hadn't da. And then you get to the root cause of the problem and you find out that actually, how the fuck do you solve that? Boom! More reps. So the question why allows you to find the answers you're looking for. Pretty long video. I'm gonna see if this camera is actually around the right way. We'll see. If I need to rotate it, I'll test it for the next video. See how it works, and check in the editing if I need to rotate it around or invert it, so that way you guys can actually fucking read the whiteboard. Otherwise, that was fucking useless. And with that said, I record every single day videos like these. So if you're interested in like a specific topic or something really that you would like me to talk about, feel free to recommend that in the comments. Let me know if I'm like spewing some fucking bullshit that doesn't make any fucking sense. And hey, what the fuck are you talking about, Brazil? Please explain and ask me in the comments if I'm forgetting about something, if I'm just going over a bit too quickly. Feel free to go back through the video and watch it again and let me know, hey, I don't understand why you're saying this. Could you re-explain this part? And I'll re-explain it. I made a small post also recently about if you would rather me talk about whiteboard video, or if you would like me to just sit down with no whiteboard, like on the balcony, just chat to the camera. Go vote there and let me know which one would you prefer. So far, it looks like it's whiteboard time. So I call it whiteboard style. That works better. That you guys seem to understand better, like better. So I'm gonna keep doing that a little bit more, and we'll see where we go from there. But honestly, I really appreciate all the feedback and the support that I've gotten from you guys. It's been really, really insightful and really great. Like, I feel really way more motivated to actually do more videos, just to see more viewers, more likes, more comments. It warms my heart. So with that said, I appreciate every single one of you guys watching, and I will see you tomorrow for another daily upload. Have a great day, and I will see you again.